When people talk about contradictions in the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
what are your responses to that?
Depends on different ones. A lot of times they're not really contradictory if you dive into it. The history, a lot of times people talk about the Bible or they want to use the Bible as a weapon, but they don't really know the Bible. They found a couple of tools, in the workshop, and they're like, what about these? They don't really know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
So a lot of the contradictions apparently are not contradictions. There are some that appear to be, but, we don't know everything. There are a lot of things that happen even in today's world. We don't know everything about it. Somebody sees something, somebody else sees something, somebody else. They all three tell a different story. They have different perspectives. One of the contradictions is people talk about Jesus in the Gospels and they'll say, that time he healed that blind guy. But the Gospel of John says Jesus did a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't record. And the words that he said were incredible. There are a whole bunch of things that he said that we didn't write down. We just wrote down the most important ones. So a lot of times people are saying that's a contradiction, but if you knew the whole story and you saw more things, you go, oh, that's not contradictory at all. I'll give you an example from the Old Testament. There's a testament that says that this guy was from this town, and his mom was from this town, his dad was from this town. But in another passage that's parallel, it says he was from this tribe or whatever, and his dad was from this tribe. It seemed contradictory. But if you look at it, the town is in the tribe of that territory, and this town is in the tribe of that territory.
Right.
It's two different labels for the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It appears to be contradictory, but if you know the larger story, it's not contradictory at all. So I think my response in general is you look and find out all the context of the story and still see, okay, what are you missing? What seemed contradictory? A lot of times when you dive in, it's actually not. Context. We often say that context really tells the story. So if you don't know the context, you may miss the whole point.
Yeah.
And really for us as Christians, we're talking, and at the Bible Seminary, we're teaching a lot of the Old Testament to help inform the New Testament.
Right.
Because a lot of Christians, we grew up in church learning New Testament things, and we don't even know what they're talking about. We don't know what we don't know what they're referencing. They did because they were Jewish. The Old Testament was written by Hebrews, by Jews, New Testament also, but then we interpret as Christians. So again, we're trying to learn the context. What is the city like? What is their beliefs like? What is their religion? What are their clothes? All these different things. And those shed light on the stories that we're hearing.